Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates, located here in Tempe, Arizona, and today I'm filming out of our Chandler, Arizona location, another reformer workout for you, which is very wrist-friendly. So if you are a person who has sensitive wrists, this is going to be a great workout for you to do on the reformer. I am working on a balanced body piece of equipment, so for those that are working on a different model at home, I will make those necessary recommendations for you as according to springs. I am going to only be working with the loops today, so if you have handles, go ahead and take those off so that we're already prepared for the workout. For those that are new, I have over 60 workouts here on the channel, all categorized in the playlist section. Feel free to check those out. And if you are new and you're not sure about whether or not you want to become a Pilates instructor or enhance your Pilates practice, Function Pilates does have their own teacher training program. It is virtual. There is more information in the description box. Click the link below to gain more information. And if you are interested in becoming a Pilates studio owner, you are a Pilates instructor, you want your own studio in your neighborhood, feel free to reach out. Function Pilates is a groundbreaking franchise. I am here to answer all your questions. Again, that link will be provided in that description box below. So for those that are ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and begin with our footwork series. I have on 2 reds, a green, and a yellow spring, which makes up 3.5 springs. It's a medium to heavy resistance. Lie on your back. Let's place our heels on the foot bar about hip distance apart and press on out. Relax those arms beside you. Take a moment to check in with your shoulders, your neck and jaw, and soften through those facial muscles. Think of the toes and the knees pointing directly up towards the ceiling as we maintain this hip distance apart position. Exhale takes you out, inhale bends the knees. About 10 repetitions here, and we're going to move it down to the toes, staying hip distance apart in parallel. So if you're not sure if you're in parallel, take this moment to look up at your feet. Make sure that they are in line like railroad tracks. Think of lifting from your pelvic floor to create a deeper abdominal connection there with your body. Exhale presses out, inhale to return. Bring your heels together, toes apart in that Pilates V, stretching on out, zipping through those inner thighs to really activate the work there. Feel as if your body is getting longer as you reach out through the top of your head. Shoulders still relaxed, chest is open. Keep driving your belly button down towards the floor. Beautiful. Let's bring our heels up to the top of the foot bar at the very edge, turned out. Heels are there. Exhale, we press. Think of the kneecaps staying in line with your shoulders. And think of your tailbones remaining heavy in the carriage. The work should be facilitated from the hamstrings and the glutes. Of course, you're going to feel your thighs right above the knee. Exhale, press out. Inhale to return. Simply bring it down to your toes. Heels are lifted. Same external rotated position there, just a slight turnout. Continue to press out and control the resistance as you bring that carriage in. Notice how much the thighs equally have to work as you press out and as you bend your knees to come in. Beautiful job. From here, let's bring our toes back to the center about hip distance. Go ahead and drop those heels under for calf raises. So you're lowering your heels under the foot bar, you're lifting your heels up. Think about really resisting as you lift up so you're in control and not jerking the carriage around. Beautiful. The emphasis is on the up, and then take it into your running where you're just alternating one foot under the bar, one knee bends. And that should feel relatively good as we stretch out through those calves, stabilize through the hips, and just take this moment of articulation through the ankles. Bring that carriage back in. Simply go ahead and sit yourself up, and we're going to adjust our springs here. So you can add all your springs back on and then remove that foot bar down flat. You're gonna take your box, place it short box horizontal against the shoulder blocks. If you're taller than about 5'7", I would take the box over the shoulder blocks. Find your safety strap, secure your feet underneath there, sitting up nice and tall. We're gonna begin to come into those genie arms position, cross one arm over the other. And from here, scoop that belly, create a round back in that lower spine, and then simply return and restack. Drop your chin, take the exhale. Good, maybe inhale to hold, and then exhale, restack your spine. Nod the chin, articulate the spine to lower back. Think about the abdominals lifting you up and not necessarily relying on the safety strap. Perfect. Take this next breath, this next variation, cross your chest, go ahead and round your back, hold, twist to the left, twist to the right, return through center. So incorporating this oblique emphasis here, you're twisting left, twisting right, through center, restack the spine. Follow your breath, exhale it down, inhale to rotate. Inhale to rotate, exhale, return through the top. You got it. Nodding your chin, scooping that belly like you're putting on a pair of tight jeans. And return back to the top. Beautiful. Last one to end this variation. And then return back to the top. Good. Let's go ahead and open our arms to a T. We're gonna rotate to the left, take a dip down to reach for the edge of the carriage, and then return through center. Rotate to the right, reach to the edge, maintaining your sits bones to be nice and heavy. Continue to alternate sides, again, getting a little deeper into the obliques, the sides of your abdominal muscles. But think of stretching long, energetically through your arms, keeping your chest wide open. And challenge yourself not to lift your hips off the box, but you should feel the equal amount of pressure in those butt cheeks. From here, interlace those hands behind the head. Let's take a dive back, play that game of trust, and then return through center. So you're hinging from the hip. Think of a nice, flat, straight torso. And lift. Focus on your breath, shoulders relax, neck is loose. Good. And return. Perfect. So carefully, we're gonna exit off of here. We're gonna take a little bit of a stretch, a hip stretch. So just taking your feet out of the straps, cross your right ankle over the left knee, grab a hold of the handles if you have any to lean over. So maintain that stretch for as long as you'd like, and then go ahead and switch to the other side. And you should feel a nice piriform stretch here. Okay, so from this position, we're gonna go ahead and carefully adjust our springs back to one red, one blue. So one medium spring and one light spring. Foot bars can go back up to the default position. And then you're gonna remove your box. We don't need that anymore. And you're going to lie yourself down on your back and place your loops in your feet around the arches. Once you're there, you can go ahead and just stretch those legs up to the top. Just get a nice stretch for now as you get grounded. And then we're gonna bend our knees into frog, heels together, toes apart. We're gonna just adapt to this by squeezing through those inner thighs, already engaging through the hips, engaging through our inner thighs, our hamstrings. Nevertheless, our abdominals are working just as hard, so think of that co-contraction with your abs and your low back. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna go ahead and take a V position. So you're gonna send your feet up, flex to pull down to create a V. So when you lift, your legs will separate as wide as the carriage, and then when you pull down, they come narrow and they kiss at the bottom at 45 degrees. Good. So just feel the magnets of your heels pulling together to create that heat in your inner thighs. Beautiful. Exhale to pull those heels down. Inhale to release. Exhale to pull down. Inhale to release. Nice. Let's go right into our Russians. So in frog, take one leg to frog, one leg out to the side, and carefully, without moving the carriage, alternate sides. So one leg is straight out to the side, one leg is bent in that external rotation. You're just switching and alternating from side to side, and you should feel the inner thighs heating up here. Perfect. And come back through center. And we'll take it right into that nice big circle, which should feel like dessert here as we stretch those inner thighs out, stretch the back of the legs. And think about how wide you're going here. So if you need to glance at your feet, make sure there's an equal amount of pressure in your straps, an equal amount of openness through the circle, that you're not favoring one side, especially if you have a tighter hip. Reverse when you're ready. Nice. It's such great awareness when we know which side is dominating more, and then we can make that correction to benefit the other side. Take the soles of your feet together in a Buddha position, and we're gonna just make these tiny Ferris wheel circles. So imagine a Ferris wheel. How large is this Ferris wheel? You get to create that today. Keep those heels and toes touching the entire time, and when you're ready to reverse, reverse that. And this should feel like it's burning out those inner thighs just a tad more. And then just take that nice Buddha position to finally relax and let the knees melt off to the side. Once you're ready, you can just take a moment to add some extra stretches if you'd like. Just hug onto those straps, give them a little pull. And then you can carefully remove your feet out of the loops, finding your foot bar right away. Hang those pegs back up on the loops back on the pegs. And then we're gonna take it into bridging. So let's take our headrest down flat, if it's not already there. And we're adding on a medium spring, a red spring. So there should be 2 reds, 2 mediums, and 1 blue, meaning 1 light. Heels are on, parallel hip distance. Articulate the spine to bridge yourself up. Take a breath there. Exhale, roll that spine down like a string of pearls. Tailbone's the last thing to hit. Activate through those hamstrings. The hamstrings should be feeling the work here. Keep that chest open and roll that spine down beautifully. Rock the pelvis, squeeze through the glutes. You got it. And bridging. Let's take one leg to tabletop, adding those little pulses up and down. Take that heel back. Let's take the left leg to tabletop, pulse those hips up and down, squeeze through the glutes. You got it. That extra little burn, hold it there. We're gonna press out and return. Press out and return. Finding that long extension, opening up the backside of the legs. We have it. Bringing that carriage back into the stopper and rolling our spine halfway to pulse. Think of thrusting the hips up towards the ceiling, squeezing the glutes every time before you roll the spine down. Beautiful. If you didn't get all of that today, it's something to definitely work on going forward. Let's sit ourselves up to adjust our springs again. And we're gonna go down to 1 red, 1 medium spring here. And once you've done that, if you need to adjust your springs, feel free to take that moment in between to go a little lighter to a blue or a lighter spring, But otherwise, find your box and position it horizontal in a short box over the foot bar and make sure it's secure there, that it's not going to move around. Kneeling facing the box, we're going to have our forearms on, feet are secured with the shoulder blocks, and we're going into our down stretch here. So it's a kneeling plank. You're just going back and forth to bring that chest over the forearm. So you're gonna exhale it back and then take the inhale to really knit your ribs together. Beautiful. Good, shoulders are down. Feel those back extensors assisting you. And then take a child's pose before we move along. Perfect. From here, we're gonna go ahead and take it to full plank. So knees are coming off. If you need to go back to the first variation, feel free. And we're gonna go ahead and pull those knees in towards the chest and straighten the legs. Pull the knees in and straighten the legs. Beautiful, hips are up nice and high to feel the core react. No low back dumping here. And then go ahead taking that child's pose. Hanging in there. We're almost there. We're going to come back to the plank position. Once you're ready, you're going to pike those hips towards the ceiling. So think of an upside down V as you send your tailbone as high as it can go towards the ceiling without compromising your form. So shoulders are seeing down away from those ears. You're scooping that belly up. Again, it's not about the height. It's about the emphasis of the work here. And then carefully return home. Take another child's pose to regroup. Of course, you can add more if you feel like you're ready. And then we're gonna go ahead and carefully come off the box. So we're using the box in a long ways position. So we'll organize it that way. And we're still on that red spring. And we're gonna take our loops and send them above our elbows for our butterfly. Palms are looking at you. Elbows are just slightly below the shoulders, and on the next exhale, open those arms out wide. So the goal is to feel the work behind the shoulder. This is not about squeezing your shoulder blades, so try to relax those. But your arms should be in your peripheral vision. This is all about strengthening those shoulders so that we can have good shoulder alignment here. Sitting up nice and tall, keep that belly button pulling in towards your low back. Come into a prayer position. Send those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Keep those palms hugging into one another with the fingertips pointing directly up. Beautiful. Nice and slow, very deliberate, not shrugging your shoulders, so keeping those shoulders in place with lots of scapula stabilization here. Beautiful. From here, we're going to go ahead and take those loops around the wrists, maybe above the wrist if this feels okay to you, and then going into our chest expansion. So palms are facing forward. Exhale, using your back extensors to facilitate the movement of the arms. So we're contracting those muscles below our armpits. We're sitting up nice and tall to exercise our postural muscles. Excellent. Let's go ahead, keep it out as you wave your arms up and down about 6 to 7 inches, keeping the carriage quiet. And let's bring it back in. Send those loops around the pegs. We're gonna go ahead and take this moment to carefully lie on top of your box. So however you get there, that's safe and secure for you. Lie on your stomach. And let's have some separation between those feet and find your arms overhead if that's healthy for your shoulders. We're gonna begin our swimming. So alternate one arm with the opposite leg and begin to lift at a nice, comfortable pace for you until you can actually speed it up. Eyesight is down looking at the springs, so don't look up to break the neck here. We want a nice alignment through the neck, through the rest of the spine. Kick those legs, feel the whole back side of your body working and developing heat. And then take a moment to rest. From here, let's lift those thighs back up, point those toes, reach those arms like Superman, stretch those arms like you're framing your ears, reach those fingertips. Just feel the backside of your shoulder blades working, and then rest it. Carefully remove yourself off the box. We can take our box off. We don't need it anymore. And then we are going to take our foot bar back up to its default position. And we're going to be on 2 medium springs. So 2 red springs. Once you're there, we can start ourselves in the very sitting into the center of the carriage. Toes are on. Arms are reaching. Palms are looking at each other. And you're going to rotate to open out to the side. So you're straightening your legs to press from the foot bar, rotate through the torso to create a nice little stretch here. But the challenge is keeping those hips anchored. So you're going to feel the work through your upper spine, through the obliques. And just remember that we want to avoid collapsing through our spine. Reach those arms overhead as far as you can, again, without losing your height. So maybe it's not reaching towards the ceiling today. Maybe it's reaching towards the wall in front of you. But again, just really create this nice tall spine and then return, come back down. Beautiful. All right, guys, let's go ahead and finish it with a stretch. So we're going to go to 1 red, 1 medium spring for our eaves lunge. Forearms can rest on that foot bar. Align your standing leg in front, your knees over your ankle as you push out with your opposite leg, getting deep into the hip flexor. And then go ahead, bring it in, straighten out your standing leg into your hamstring stretch. Nice. Let's bring it on in, back to that first lunge position. And then right back into your hamstring stretch. And let's take it to the other side. So again, finding our way where 1 foot is supported by the shoulder block, 1 foot's on the floor, forearms are resting on that foot bar. Push on out for a nice deep lunge. Remember, the alignment should be where the standing leg, that standing knee, should be over the ankle. So if you feel like your knee is shearing past your toes, reposition yourself. Go to a straight leg for your hamstring stretch. Shoulders down and away. And then back into your lunge. Beautiful. Finishing off with that hamstring stretch, squaring out the pelvis, squaring out those hips. Deep breaths here, and then bringing it back in. All right, let's go and finish it with our roll downs to complete our session today. So let's sweep those arms overhead, take a dive down, hold, scoop that belly to restack that spine. One more time, dive it down. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, hit a thumbs up, leave a comment, and hope you will subscribe if you're new.